What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast. We already know what we do. We talk about life, we talk about everything grown up here. And today I have a beautiful guest joining me back here on the podcast. If you have not tuned into that episode with Esther Murray before, which was crazy enough, almost 2 years ago. So it's very crazy, but I'm excited to have her back and connect again. She needs no further introduction. Miss Esther Murray, welcome back to the
Oh
podcast.
my
How are you
God.
doing?
I am so happy to be back once again to Grown Up. You are going places. I am so happy for where you are at right now, where you came from. I mean, I'm just blessed to be a
Yes.
blessing to everyone out there and for you to be a blessing to me and everyone in my area. I mean, just being with you is just an amazing feat. I mean, I am so thrilled to be back again with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Your words have carried me throughout these almost 2 years that we haven't physically spoken, but we have carried on conversation throughout these less than 2 years. So even through that, it's just given me so much uplifting moments that I needed. And I just wanted to tell you that, in the moments that I was feeling probably the worst or in a very dark space, I would get a LinkedIn message from Esther Murray. And it was just nothing but a beautiful message for me and words that I truly needed in that moment. And you had no idea that I needed that, but I did. And it was such a blessing to be able to connect with you when I did and be able to stay connected throughout the years. And so I'm just very thankful for your spirit and very thankful for you. And I wanted to definitely make sure I let you know and definitely say it on recording because the world needs to know that you are a beautiful spirit in this world and that they should be connecting with you. So thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. And it takes two to tango, okay?
Yeah.
So thanks to you as well, because I tell you, what you're doing here, it's really echoing across. I mean, sometimes people are going through their own little struggles unless they hear it from someone else who's going through, they really, feel alone. So, I understand we all go through struggles each day, but guess what? You're not alone. And once you know that there's someone there who's there shouting for you and rooting for you and trying to like pull you along, let you know that you're not alone. Don't go through this journey alone. It's not a one man show. This is for all of us. And this is why connection is key. This year, that was my motto. I am coming in this new year with an effort to just connect with the right people. I want to be authentic. I want to be transparent. I want to be with
Mm,
people who are real, no more fluff. Enough of the fluff, right? We got too much
yes.
out there. It's time for you to be real and genuine. I really care to help the people that are really struggling. So, I appreciate you because you're doing amazing what you're doing. So thank you again for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Your words are always very much close to my heart. So I very much appreciate it. As you said, I'm very much showing up in the same space this year, showing up authentically, me, and trying to connect in an authentic way, in an authentic manner. And so that's why I wanted to have you back on the podcast because obviously it's been so long since we physically spoken. And I definitely feel like the people need to hear you again and need to tune into you. And so I'm just excited. And today it's going to be just a conversational thing. Last time we talked primarily really on just life coach and what that actually means and things like that. So today it's going to be a very personal conversation. We're going to catch up here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope everyone tunes in. And of course, like I said, go and check out the first part of our interview. But this one is going to be way better because we're in a different space. And that's
Yes.
always better to be in a different space.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
um, yeah, so like I said, when you were here, we mostly talked about the life coaching
Mhm.
aspect and what it is and things like that. So now that you're back, I want an update about your life,
Right.
the life coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to talk a little bit more about your book because we didn't expand on that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just want to know what has been going on. What's new with you since we've
Right.
spoken in
Yeah.
almost 2 years? Go ahead, take the floor.
Right. So, coaching came by just at the height of COVID, right? I am in
Hmm.
government. I've been in the government here in New York City for the last, 26 plus years now. And when I first came in, I was hired to train. I came in at a per diem, which is like a provisional,
Right.
and slowly found my way in, because I've always, coming from a small island in Tobago where we didn't even have a college, I took my education very seriously, and I took that leap of faith, not knowing what fate will wait for me here, right? And that was part of
Yeah.
what I wrote in that book, with when I collaborated with another bunch of coaches, as well as doctors and stuff, but I coaching, I am not fully into it yet, because I'm still working government, because it's my passion,
Yeah.
and I'm coaching more so just part time. But I'm
Mhm.
working on my way full time to go in, because where I am right now, even though I'm not doing coaching fully, I am still coaching in a different environment with coworkers.
Mhm.
Right? I feel that I am at a place right now for a short time, and I feel that what I'm doing right now is relevant, because I am helping the people that I am working next to find their own way,
Yeah.
right? It's not just like me being a Tony Robbins or whoever it may be. It's really working with what you have right now, and sometimes coaching is blast. It's really sent out in the wrong way, making you think that you have to have this status and so forth. You and I are coaching every single day. The moment we're encouraging, uplifting, and empowering somebody, we're coaching. The moment we are helping someone
Mm.
transition where they are there to where they want to be, we're coaching, right? Sometimes you're doing
Mm.
it absentmindedly, not knowing that you're doing it, and you do it every day. You being here,
Mhm.
people, you're coaching, you're lecturing, you're helping lift someone, right? So I'm a freelance coach for today, but I'm working slowly into doing coaching full time. But I
Yeah.
tell you, what I'm learning each day is to be more present with people, right? It's not just looking for money. It's about really helping people to get a change in their life. People are hurting. People are hurting. I mean, I'm hearing it every day. I talk with people every day. I mean, I'm on the phone with not only with customers, encouraging and lifting people up, but being around people that I meet day to day. One of my
Mhm.
biggest passion is homelessness. And just this week, I was able to feed two homeless people. I mean, I was able
Wow.
to take them from where they are and take them into a place where everyone looking at me like, what is she doing with that type of person? And it's where we think, it's where we think.
Right, right.
So so I am a perpetual learner. I'm learning more each day. I'm coaching people you know, I'm not doing it full time, but I'm doing it bit by bit. But it's something that I want to go beyond. I want to go beyond coaching. I really want to be at a place where I can just lift people up from where they are. I think it's
Mm.
a bigger calling than coaching, right? So I've
Yes.
grown a lot from that perspective last year. More so is really getting into the individual, to really find that person where they are, to meet them where they are, and to really help them get through, because people are going through a situation and they're just not looking for someone who can just tell them, hey, this is the cause, you got cause, and everything is going to be okay. They really
Mhm.
want someone who will be there with them through that journey, someone who's been there. You can't take a person a place where you yourself have not been. So for me, it's more on I'm on a personal right now. It's a different mindset I have right now. And I feel that God is taking me somewhere different now.
Mm.
It's beyond just the mere talking to the person one on one, but it's like walking with that person side by side, and helping that person to get to that next level that they're looking for. And it's really to let people believe in themselves again, because a
Mm.
lot of people have lost hope. They've
Mm.
lost faith, they've lost who they really are. Imagine working in a place where you feel like your values are no more there. You feel like, and I'm coming from a place where I've been, because I've seen it happen over and over again, where we are minorities. We're in an office where it's like a particular class of people that are rising and a particular class of people are staying. And in government,
Yeah.
it's an ongoing feat here, right?
Mhm.
So for me, rather than me be bitter and negative about that, what lesson am I learning in this? How am I growing in this? What I know it's a painful experience, but guess what? I am growing, I'm learning, I'm taking better I'm practicing self-care. I'm learning how to work at skills that I've never learned before. I'm transitioning out from certain parts of the agency now, coming up with a different way of thinking and coming up with a different way of doing things, right? So now I'm more like going out, talking to people, reaching out to people, see where they are, finding ways where I can give back to them. This week I was with my alumni at NYU, and I was just giving back to the community. I was just giving back to the students. The
Yeah.
institute. I was asked to help them with the scholarship program to help select students. We selected 2 students, so I'm always being called back from school to give back, and that's where I'm at right now. Right,
Mm,
coaching, but at the same time, it's more like I feel that I want to make a bigger impact. I'm not sure what it is. I don't have a vision of what it is just yet, but I know I'm going in the right direction, and it's beyond the day to day one-on-one calling with someone. It's more like, how can I make your life a little different? How can I get you to the place where you know you need to be? How can I help you? How can I be your catalyst, be with you? I'm more
yeah.
feeling the person now. I'm more understanding that they have needs that they feel that everyone else have forgotten about them. And I
Mm,
want to be that person to be there to shine a light to that dark light that they're experiencing right now. And that's where I'm at, right?
yeah.
So as far as the book is concerned, the book talked about my life. It talked about where I come from, being on the side of the highway in Tobago. I just came out from school and there were no real jobs to do. And the only could have found was job working on the side of the highway. Me and my little cousin, we were changing tires, looking at the color of the sun every day. We come home, we looking like a tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an opportunity came by where I met an Englishman, a British man, a British major. And he told my mom, he said, I see a lot of potential in your daughter, and I think this is her time. And this came out of like synchronicity. I'm like, I'm here on the one day, next day I'm in the Big Apple, man, and it's like all this stuff. So, and when I talk to people, I said, listen, just as how I can come from a small island and have my life transition to where I'm at today, and I know I have more to go and further to achieve, the same can happen to you, because we all have some story in life. We all have some time in our life where we've experienced growth. There's some part in our life where we went through a pain and we were able to pull ourselves out from that struggle. So the situation that you're in today, what have you learned from that last experience? What can you take from that to get you where you are right now, to move you further? So there's the little things that we learn in life that really transition, and we build on it. So all the problems or all the fears or all the little hiccups we had in life, they were there for a purpose. They were there to strengthen us, to empower us, to give us resilience so that we
Hmm.
stand up and start all over again. So if it didn't work
Yes.
before, you find another way that work for you. That's where I'm at right now. I'm here in
Yes.
transition mode, and I'm here to just be a catalyst. I'm just here to just empower people, because I feel that's where my passion is. I think that's where my heart is driving me to
Mm.
be more impactful to people who really need someone that needs a person that's there for them. It's beyond the coaching sphere, I think, is where I'm at right now.
Yes. Oh my. I'm filled with a lot of emotion after that response because I feel like we are so much in the same space. And that's what I try to get people to understand here on the podcast is we may be in different time zone or different environment or grew up in a different space or area or whatever, but in one way or another, we're all experiencing the same type of things.
Mm.
And me and you, we're right there in the same. I feel I'm in the same spot where I feel like there is something bigger, there's something more for me to do.
Yeah.
And something that my dad just told me the other day, he said, don't stop with the podcast, and don't stop with the music segment because you're giving people an opportunity to be seen, to be heard. And a
Yeah.
lot of these people would not even have that opportunity, or it may come further down the line with more recognition or whatever, like you're
Yeah.
doing a great service for people.
Mhm.
And that really sat with me because it's like, even though I do feel like I have something bigger or greater coming or what have you, that little small victory, as we were talking about, is very important because that is, and something that I am doing for somebody. I'm putting a spotlight on them. I'm shining the light on them, on
Mhm.
their existence
Mhm.
overall,
Yeah.
who they are, their talents, and all of that that comes with them.
Mhm.
And it's very important that we show each other support, because that's a huge thing to be able to continue moving forward in life, is knowing that you have support
Yeah.
in different areas and different interests and different things that you want to take yourself in life. And support is huge. And so I'm just so overjoyed for you and where you're at and the space that you're at, because I feel like there's so much growth still. Of course, like,
Yeah.
it's life is, you just keep growing and you just keep
Oh.
going on, and like you said, staying a student,
Mhm.
and staying open to learning new things and learning new
Yeah.
perspectives and understanding different
Mhm.
people and different cultures and all this. So
Mhm.
I just feel like we're so connected, and I could feel you through the computer. So I can't believe I went to New York and I didn't even didn't even stop by to see. I was only there for like 4 days. I
Oh,
know.
you came to New York and you didn't look.
I
Oh,
did. I did last year in June, I believe. Yeah, I went to go see my brother on Broadway, and so yeah, yeah, it was really amazing. I was only there for 4 days, so that's why. And I have a lot of people I've connected with in New York, and I'm so sorry, but I
no.
definitely have to come back, and we'll get some
It was
coffee.
not meant to be. It was not our time. It was not our
Absolutely.
time,
Yeah.
and this is where I'm at with life right now. Because every day I see something new. Every day I learn something new, and
Mm,
I'm taking people on face value right now.
mm,
I this what you see here is what you get. I
yeah.
am a I'm a straight shooter, right? If I can help you, I'll help you. If I can't help you, I will try my best to find a way of how I can help you, or
Mhm.
find someone who I know will be able to be better supportive towards you and the cause, because we all need each other. This circle of life, it's not a one man show. Like I said, we have to be accountable for the things that we do, but we also have to be our brother's keeper, because
Yes.
I cannot walk down the street and see a person hurting another person and just walk over that person and keep going. Because
Mm,
guess what? What if it was me sitting on the side of that street and I'm getting hurt? I wouldn't like anyone to pass me by. I wouldn't want to be there. I'm my brother's keeper, right? I'm my
yeah.
brother's keeper. And like I said, there are a lot of people who are going through mental struggles right now. A lot of us didn't talk about the stuff that we went through during COVID. We were all at home.
Mhm.
We came back into an atmosphere where it was sort of like overlooked in government. It's like business as usual. It's not
Right.
like, what did you endure? I lost my father. My father called me at the height of COVID. It was in December. I'll never forget. It was December 2020. He passed. It was the
Mm,
eve of New Year's 2021, and
wow.
answer the phone, right? Because it was like late in the night, and I'm like, my dad has been estranged from me since I was 8 years old. Right? He
Wow.
left my mom to take care of me and my three brothers, right? And
Right.
I saw my mom, and that's another reason why I believe that I've taken this stance that I want to be out there to help, because I know what it felt like to be in need. I used to eat rice, like uh, pepper rice, because we didn't have food,
Yeah.
right? So we used to have rice and then we just put some hot sauce on it and eat, because that's what we had. We In the summertime we didn't have much to do and we didn't have much food. And one of my eldest brother, he was epileptic, and we sometimes had to stay home and take care of him, because when you're epileptic, anything can happen. You can get in trouble. You can, hurt, you fall, your mouth get you clench, and everything happens to you. So some days we had to stay at home and take care of him while my mom going and looking for 3 or 4 jobs. So I remember, like, late in the night, we all be huddled together, in front of the house, hoping that mom would come home 2 o'clock. All 4 of us, we sit together in front. We wouldn't sleep until mom gets back, and Dad did that. And my brother who lives in Norway, he never really forgave him. He grew up with a lot of anger and hate, and a lot of things could have happened to us back then. But God is so good, right? He's
Yes.
taking care of us, right?
Yeah.
And it's one time earlier when before he passed, my brother went back and my mom said, "Listen, I've made peace with him, and I think you should make peace with him." And so my brother, he went there with a heavy heart, and he had dinner with him, with his family, because he's Norwegian family. He went there with his family, and it's at that moment we learned that we have another sister. we had an extra family. We had another.
What?
I found out I had another sister who was a cop. So all this stuff, unfortunately, we didn't even know until that happened, right? So
Wow.
to make a long story short, I went home with my family, and I remember him coming with. He was very upset when he saw me, and he had like something like a machete. He said, "I'm gonna chop you up, chop you up." And my little son was in the car, and my hubby, he was sitting there, and he was like, "What's going on?" My mom was like, "What is this man doing?" And he was so mad. She said, "All these years you wait, you never spoke with me." I said, "But wait a minute. At 8 years old, you left. You never looked back. You went and had a
Mm,
family. We didn't even know." But somehow guilt was something else, and I think he wanted to make his peace, and he called me
mm,
the night off, December 31st, 2020. And I almost didn't pick up that call. And when I answered, he said he was not feeling well. So I called my youngest brother who was on the island. And I said, "Look, Dad is not feeling well. I know he is living with someone else." And then after that call, I hung up with him and I said, why is no one taking you to the hospital if you're not feeling well? He was not showing any sign of like sickness or anything like that. Right. And then
mhm.
half an hour later, I got another call. My dad just passed.
Wow.
I I have not processed that yet.
Yeah.
3 years or 4 years later, I have not processed that yet because I'm visualizing this man I saw laying back. He had on no shirt and he was just lying. He said, "Oh, I just feel this way." Half an hour, my dad passed away. So
Wow.
everyone would say he was making it right with you because he remembered that you were the only girl child that he had, and it's like he felt bad all these years later, and that really took a toll on me, as thinking back, and I'm like, people are struggling, right? I have coworkers that came back into the job and I became their advocate. This
Yeah.
is why I'm saying it's beyond coaching for me,
Yeah.
because right now I have a colleague whose husband is going through a stage 4 cancer. No one in the
Mm,
job knows that. I have colleagues who lost their husband and all this stuff. So everyone is going through so much,
right.
right? When people came back from COVID, a lot of us just came back and work. We never had a meeting where anyone says, "Can we set up a time where we can speak with you guys one on one, see where you're at, how you've
Yeah.
been, and all that stuff." I've been an advocate for my coworkers. This is why they come to me.
Yeah.
My coworkers come to me without going to management
Mhm.
because there's a trust here.
Yeah.
And part of this that we're doing here, this is why, if I'm going to be there for someone to help that person get from where they are to another, I have to build that relationship. So I came out this year and I said the first thing I did was a 30-day transform your life challenge when I first started in January 2024 to my community. And we went
Mhm.
for 31 days with different things to sort of like help you, whether it's self-care, whether it's practice a little bit more gratitude and mindfulness. And these are the basic things that you want to do when you've come from a rough time, when you've been
Mm,
through the storm that no one
mm,
understands, that internal storm that you face, especially when you close that door in the night. Trust me, I've been there,
mm,
right? And people are going
mhm.
through that even today. They don't speak about it. They will hear you talk about it. They will watch you every day on social media. Not everyone talks the truth on social media, and I'm learning that every day. This is why I'm not going to make social media my defining factor, because there
Mhm.
are people that are there for good reasons, and there are people that are there for not so good reasons.
Yeah.
Right? But people are very savvy now. They will tell you when they see truth and when they don't see truth.
Mhm.
You cannot fake it
Yeah.
too long, right? You can't fake it too long. But
Yes.
for me, if I can find one person, Derek, if I see one person who can say, like, you made a difference for me, I tell you, that is major for me.
Yeah.
When I did this last week, when I helped select the students on the committee at Fashion Institute, one of the girls that was on the list for us to select, we interviewed her. She said, "Oh,
Mhm.
Esther, I remember you. Two of them remembered me from last year when I lectured in the school." And I'm like, "What? They remember me? Little me, they remember me." People remember. This is why my biggest, I love quotes, but the one I
Yeah.
love so much, right,
Yeah.
is people will forget what you say. They'll forget what you do. But one thing they'll never forget is how you make them feel. And
Mm.
if someone can come back and say to you, they remember you, because of what you said. And this girl that I spoke with, and we selected her because she started to do volunteer stuff based on what I told her last year. This girl went on over and beyond. I started to volunteer because once a year I go with NYPD and I count the homeless people, because homelessness is a passion for me. It's something that I really would like to eradicate off the face of this earth, the homelessness.
Mhm.
About
Mhm.
immigrants and all that stuff that we're dealing with, but the homelessness. When I see people on the side of the street in the coldest day of the year, sitting on the sideway, and they prefer to stay there as opposed to going to a shelter, you have to take a step back.
Mhm.
I appreciate where I am. I also appreciate where I've come from. I've come from a place of hurt. I've come from a place of pain, and I know I'm not the only one that has that story. We all have a story to
Yeah.
tell, right? And until you live here and you say your story, because I'm telling you, story sharing, it's the most amazing way of connecting with people, as opposed to just saying, hey, let me get to talk with you, and then create this atmosphere where you just want to
Yeah.
you want to pull people in, and you just want to, I don't have the time for the phoniness.
Yeah.
If you can come and you can say, listen, I hear you. And these are the kind of people I want. I cannot coach everyone, okay? I can only
Mhm.
coach the person who knows they really want to make a difference for themselves. They really are ready to take that next step to
Yeah,
their
absolutely.
change, right? Because
Absolutely.
we can't talk to everyone, because then I'm talking to no one. But I
Yeah.
can tell you this, if you get me with you, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
I am coming from a place where I know it's not an easy place. And telling a person to get up in the morning and just take a step out into the unknown, it takes a lot of grit,
Yeah.
because people are struggling even to get up to just turn on the television or just to coffee. I remember
Mhm.
that days when I was not well, I would be like struggling. And I'm like, is this what people go through?
Yeah.
So you have to know where people are. You have to meet them where they are,
Absolutely. I
right?
agree with
Don't
that.
try to buy them because they
Yeah.
will, people know. People know.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. People know.
Yeah. That
So yeah,
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 hey, that reminds me of, a conversation I was having the other day with my wife. I was telling her about an experience that I really became very present in that moment. And as you're talking about homelessness, it, resonates with this moment. I was driving home from work, and I seen, some homeless people, and they were begging for, or, pandering. I'm not sure what the good term is to, make sure they're respectable because they are still humans. And so, the gentleman was put together, and, decent looking, and hair was nice, beard was nice. And before, before, in my previous state, of course, I would be very judgmental and very like not understanding of, how can you come to this type of space, and, just all these questions of just like why. And I think now in the space I'm in, in that moment, I felt like that was the complete wrong concept to go down, the wrong road to go down, as far as thinking about a human in this way. Like if that were me, I would want to be put together, as well, even though I'm not in the best situation. um as people can see, on Front Street, but I would still want to look presentable, and, and essentially it is kind of like, you're presenting yourself for a job because you're out there asking, for people to take some time to be able to, tend to you in this moment in your life. And so it just really gave me such a profound, like, different perspective as just as part of just homelessness altogether, and just, putting myself in that position and being like, okay, well, I get it now. And now it's like, okay, every time I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm trying to do my best to help as well, no matter what that other identity in my mind was thinking about. I'm letting go of these identities that no longer serve me, in this time of my life. They served me before, only as lessons, though, to
yeah,
be able to get to where I am now, because now it's starting to make sense. And
Yeah.
this with this podcast, it has helped so much more to expand upon different people and different perspectives, and understanding that, yeah, we're all different, like physically,
Mm.
but in essence, we all go through the same type of
Yeah.
emotions, the same type of
Mhm.
experiences,
Yeah.
and it's just in different times, different environments,
Right.
with different people around us. But
Mhm.
um, we the similar experience keeps us connected,
Yeah.
and with homelessness, we should be able to be as connected as we are
Yeah.
with people who do have homes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was a really big thing for me the other day, and that was such a an aha moment. I've been having a lot of these aha moments in this space of showing up in a authentic way, in a
Mm.
more present way, in a conscious way, and just really trying to be in the moment. My mind has always been in the
Mhm.
future and trying to build for the future and all of that. But what really matters the most is right now, because
Totally.
the
Totally.
future changes based off of what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And so if you're
Agree.
not doing anything now, or putting in any type of work now, or anything in the now,
Mhm.
then what you expect in your future when it comes to you
Yeah.
is probably not what you expected
Yeah.
when you weren't putting in any work,
That's right.
so yeah, this is such an amazing space in my life right now, and I'm so excited, and I'm so happy to be having this conversation with
Yeah,
you.
I'm happy about that too, that you're getting that experience and know you're being enlightened with what's really happening beyond you.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes. Yeah,
We take for granted that, wow, you'd be just like, wow, this is really
yes,
happening. Apart
yes,
from, so I'm privileged. We do have privilege. We are so privileged to be where we are in this life, where we are, right? We have
yes,
a roof over our head. We have food and all. We have clothing. It's not. It's the little things that we take for granted. It's so critical for somebody else.
yeah,
And when we can see that there's more than just us in this entire mix of things, we will really be appreciative of everything that is coming to us. Life, Tony Robbins always says, life doesn't happen for you, it's happened to you. Or people, life doesn't happen to you, it happened for you. Life is
yes,
happening for you. So just
yes,
do what you can with what you have that is in front of you, right? And what else you can, like the little things. Don't sweat the small stuff. The little things that don't really matter. Just throw it off and
yeah,
just be glad where you are, what you have. you know,
absolutely.
we want more. No one is saying that there's nothing wrong with wanting more, but
Hmm.
be content. The little things that you have.
Yes,
Trust me, you may call something poison is somebody's medicine. Whatever,
mm,
everybody is thinking a little different where they are, depending on the space where they are. So that's called
hmm,
growth. You are growing, we are growing, everybody's growing. You have to just be
yeah,
ready for that transition when it comes, because we're in an AI mode right now. It's a completely different world. If you're not caught
yeah,
up, you'll be left behind,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So yeah, life, we gotta take life as it's happening, and be proactive and be ready for change.
yes,
This one is
yes.
coming every single day. We're getting something new.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That is so true. And even in this conversation, we're getting new things. And so I really hope that, everyone is enjoying this conversation, because I'm enjoying it, and we are enjoying it
We
together.
are.
So
I mean, we're in a familiar play. I'm so happy to be in a space where I can just be myself.
yes.
And where I say that, it's so true, because on the job, why do we have to try to fit in? We don't need to. We just have to be who
Right.
we are, right? I'm afraid I have to walk on tiptoes because I'm gonna
Yeah.
offend somebody because they do things that way and we do things
Mhm.
this way. I just want to be me. This is why
Exactly.
I have to be in business with Esther Murray. I can't be
Yes.
in business with anybody else because
Mhm.
Esther Murray has a certain criteria about herself. I have a certain caliber of things that I like. My personality is such. I want to care
Mhm.
for others. Don't tell me I shouldn't care. And this is where
Oh.
I'm at, right? I'm at a
Mm.
place where management is gonna say to me, "Oh, this is what you can do, and this is what you can't do." But in the meantime, what I can do is that I can help the customer, and the customer is calling in because they need service, and I am here to serve. So
Yes.
you bet I'm serving to the best of my capabilities. I cannot
Yes.
settle for any less. And because I feel that somebody is trying to stop me, it's time for me to go. And this is what I'm
Mm.
encouraging people to do. Do not give up on your values, the things that are dear to your heart,
Mm.
because you're living for somebody else.
Mm.
And it takes a little while. It took a little while for me to figure that out before I started this coaching. I'm always like trying to help somebody. I'm not a people pleaser, but I'm more like a fair person. I'm a
Yeah.
person that believes in structure. I have structure. I'm
Yeah.
very, you know, people say, why are you always so, you have everything always A to B to, because
Mhm.
I'm really a person that I like things a certain way.
Mhm.
I am very structured. I hate to
Mhm.
say I'm very structured. I grew up with a strict mom, despite the fact that I
Mhm.
had a single parent. My mom was
Yes.
very strict with us because she wanted us not to fall into trouble. And whatever she did, I could
Absolutely.
not forget what she did for us. This is why I'm always giving back home. I'm always looking back home to give back. And, that's what I live for. I live to serve. That's what I do. I
Mm.
live to serve, So I am very diplomatic. I try my best to do what I can do. I'm not thinking of me only. I'm thinking of how else I can help that next person. We don't all
Yes.
think that way, Derek. We do
Yeah.
not all think that way. Some of us have an agenda. My agenda is to serve. And I'm not saying that we don't have to make money and we don't have, but it's how we do it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people are watching what we do because
Mhm.
people are watching what you do on this show.
Mhm.
People are looking to see how you're living your life when you're outside this studio,
Yeah.
right? So we have to
Yeah.
live with authenticity.
Yeah.
And this year I went to WIN conferences, which was held in Paris, but I
Yeah.
did it virtually because I couldn't travel at the time I was at work. But
Yeah.
I did the conference and I did it on women being authentic and in authenticity in general, right?
Yeah.
And not giving fluff. You got to say things and you really have to be real when you're talking to people. You cannot build up your business on a lie.
Yeah.
It's going to crumble at some point.
Mhm.
You cannot tell people you can do something when you're really not doing it yourself,
Mhm.
right? I cannot tell you about stuff that I don't myself know about or something that I have not experienced myself,
Yeah.
right? This is why, you know, I may be different, but I'm different with a purpose.
Mm.
I'm different because I want to be out there sharing with the people what's really going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you something that I heard someone say. I'm going to tell you what I've seen. And what I've
Mhm.
seen in government is us being stripped and pulled
Yeah.
apart and tossed to the side.
Yeah.
And even though I'm still there, I am helping pick up those little people, those pieces that I see falling apart. I'm picking them up and giving them encouragement and power and strengthening them because these girls, not just from my unit, people are reaching out to me from different departments. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we know Esther. Because this person said so. So you see, it's contagious. What we do is contagious.
Yeah.
You will find that you don't have to go and look for anything, Derek. It comes right
Mm.
to you. What is
Whew.
for you comes to you. And you want to make sure what is coming to you is what you really need and not something that you will discard. This is why we talk about authenticity. I am so hyper on that. I'm hype on that. Being transparent. Everything is sort of like hidden in the dark. They tell us whatever information they want to tell us. I'm not waiting for that. I'm sending an email and say, hey, this is what I experience. This is what I see going on. This is what I want you to know. As
Yeah.
opposed to someone shadowing that. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually people are gonna wake up, you know?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I want to live my truth. What you see me, I want to live with integrity. I am big on transparency. I'm big on credibility. I'm big on authenticity. It's the way my parents raised me, my mother. I have to look back at my mom, my
Yeah.
grandparents, because these are the people that shaped me. I haven't forgotten that, right? And I notice in these environments, we sometimes have to compromise and
Mm.
sort of like, okay, I can't really, really say what is on my mind. But because if I do see what's on my mind, I'm going to get into trouble. I'm past
Yep.
that now because I've gotten this boldness now because I'm
Yes.
so empowered with myself now. I am so comfortable with who I am as a human being, as a person of color, as a woman who's a minority and who have to struggle through life. But I'm not going to let that struggle hold me back because I
Mm,
know who I am,
mm,
right? And no one's going to take
yeah.
that away from me. That's my identity, right?
Mm,
Live according to your own rules. You don't have to. This is society telling us how we should be and how so, but we have to live it all according to our own rules. Now, I'm not saying everything that my parents taught me that I'm taking with me. I'm creating my own roadmap, right?
yeah.
They helped
Yes.
me along the way to a certain part, and now I'm building my own life story, my own story.
Yes.
That's why our own
Yes.
story is ours. It's ours. It's
Yes.
ours to create. You're creating your own. So you're designing your own life. You know, your parents came
Yes.
this far. They helped you grow this. And then now you're taking what you've learned, whatever it is you want to take from that. And then now you change it and you build a new. And this is the you. This is what makes us unique, right?
Yes.
Live according to your own rules. Create your own
Yes.
world. You know, who said that you can't become the next Superman? Who said you can't become the next president? There's no color of president. There is what you
Yes.
believe in expands, right? The more you spend time in those little holes, this is this limited belief that holds us hostage.
Yeah.
That telling you that, oh, it's never been done before. What makes you think? Who said that? Is that true? Write it down. Did this? Is that true? Who said that? Is it possible? Is that real? Is that so? These are the little things that I teach people. I encourage people and said, listen, these things that are holding you back are those limited beliefs, those thoughts that are always there trying to trap you and keep you here, make you
Yeah.
not want to step outside because they're
Yeah.
a comfort zone. This is where you're comfortable. I'm comfortable here. I'm not gonna go out there. I'm afraid to touch out there because if I go there, I don't know what's gonna happen. But you know what? Until
Mm,
you go there, you see your strength.
mm.
I left Tobago 35 plus years ago on the side of the highway. I came here on a plane in the middle of the winter. Never experienced it in my life. I'm in the Caribbean. All I experienced is my family. I left everything and everyone I knew behind and
Wow.
captured myself. Came out here, I said, you know what? I'm going to come out here. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. I don't know what's going to wait for me out here, but I know it's the right decision I'm making. And if you
Mm,
have that gut, we call it that gut, that inner feeling, when that gut tells you to do something, you got to listen because that might be the only opportunity you have.
absolutely.
Shakespeare, he said four things that come back, right? And one is the neglected opportunity. So when you have it, it doesn't come around every dynasty. You take charge.
Yes.
Right? And we
Oh,
have to remember that power is always within. When your gut tells
yes.
you to do something, never second guess yourself because it's telling you what to do. You better listen. Right?
Whew.
Don't miss it. Sometimes
Yes.
don't miss it.
Yes. I feel like you're talking directly to me. I'm just soaking it all in.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. That gut tells you to
I,
do it.
yeah, I mean,
Don't let it.
it's this year has been such a year for me. You know, I took the leap of faith to move. I've been thinking about moving for such a long time. I thought that it wasn't in me to do that. You know, I see my brothers go all over the states and they went off and I had just always been afraid. You know, I've been in this
Yeah.
box and I was raised by my mom too. And so I had structure and I had these things of one way to go. And, you know, and then I finally let go and I finally took that leap and I took that step. And it's been hard, yes, but like you said, holding on to your values and holding on to everything that you've been taught growing up and utilizing it in the best way possible for yourself and for your journey and your path and whatever you have going on in that moment, uh, really builds you up into the future moment. And for me, that's right now where
Yeah.
I have finally taken that leap of faith of moving to not only moving out of state but 3 states over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
uh, you know, still continuing the podcast, still continuing to connect with people all over the world, you know, getting remarried and, you know, building a whole different life. Yeah. And, you know, having these profound uh, things going on in my mind and my feelings and, it's been such an experience, and I'm so grateful, and I'm taking in all of your words right now, because everything that you're saying has literally been the way that my life has been unfolding for these past couple months.
You've grown.
And yes, I've grown so much, and internally, in my soul, in my spirit, in my mind, in my emotions, I've grown exponentially, and I get chills every time
I'm
when I
proud.
know that I'm really onto something.
I'm proud of you.
And
I'm so
yeah,
proud of you and all the
thank you so much.
growth you've
Thank you.
gotten and the experiences, and you've got so much to offer the world just by
Thank
your
you.
person. Mama didn't raise no fool, as we always say, right? Mama didn't raise no fool.
Yes.
And, she raised you because listen, I always say that if you are here, you have a purpose. You
Yes.
just may not know what it is just yet, which is why sometimes you need a guide,
Yeah.
right? Not that you don't know that you have to go. You just sometimes need a little push, that extra little oomph to get you on the way, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes you just
Mhm.
need to wake up those senses that have been dormant because someone have told you in a long time ago, and they told you for too long, you ain't
Yeah.
going anywhere.
Yes.
You're not going anywhere, and you ain't going anywhere too fast, right? I was
Yes.
listening to a TED talk with this guy. I went and I did a UVP with Tony Robbins a couple months ago, and this African American guy, I forgot his name, and he was talking a story, and someone sent me the TEDx that he did. I think it was yesterday, the day before, and I just went through real fast, and the way how he inspired me, because he said, as a black boy growing up in the South back then, he's a little older now, probably in his late 60s or so, maybe 70, I don't know, but he's doing well with his body. So I think that he's old because of color. Melanin is really hard to tell whether how old we are. But,
Right.
but anyway, to make a long story short, he was sharing his story when his car broke down somewhere in LA, somewhere. And of course, the LA police and all that stuff. He
Mhm.
said, and he pulled into a gas station. He said gas station was old. It was, he's talking about 1972, somewhere around that end he was talking about. He said
Mhm.
that this pickup van pulled up with three white guys. And he said he had a flat tire. He was trying to fill tire. And he said he was about 17 or so. He said they beat him so bad. He said, he said, but it's not the beating that worried me. He said, I knew I was going to survive. But he
Mm.
said what they were saying to me. You are in, you won't get anywhere. Your kind will
Mm.
never get anywhere. You will this. He said those words shot at him for years.
Mm.
He said for years he self-doubted himself. He said he was in a cocoon. He just didn't, he was so afraid of seeing white folks. He was so afraid of like coming off from where he was, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it took a while, and something happened. Something clicked one day, whether he's met someone and that clicked. And people are going through this where they've been told something over and over and over again until it becomes a second nature. So you're not going to take
Yeah.
any chance to go there and do something different. You've been
Yeah.
told you're going to be a failure.
Yeah.
That you've been told you've been rejected so many times, and I can tell myself that because many times I tried to grow in my agency. I have taken so many exams and I've been on the list forever, 100%, this percent, all this time, and they looked at my number, they looked at my name, and they passed me by and they give it to a man. They looked again, my number is still sitting there, they passed me by. Many times we rejected, going up to the team, going up to the leaders, and I'm saying, hey, I'm always here. You guys are always calling on me. I'm there holding meetings for the management. I'm here
Right.
doing all the stuff for being proactive, doing all the project management stuff.
Mhm.
Nothing happening for me. Rejection, turn door, closed door, this door. And
Yeah.
I said, that is not defining me, because
Yeah.
when you close a door, they're making room for another door that is on its way to open up for you.
Yes.
So
Yes.
every closed door is an opportunity for you to learn something from there
Yeah.
and take it with you to the next.
Yeah.
So they're closing
Absolutely.
doors on me. And I may just be little Esther right here, but I tell you, if I can do for one person, my job is done. It
Yeah.
could be one person on this line that says, she's talking about things that I'm going, I want to reach out to that. If that one person reach out, I'm going to be there for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there for you because no one has been there for me.
Mm.
The person who holds me apart from God is my mother. My mother is the only one who I can say when I go through rough patch here. Trust me, I am on my own here in this agency. But one thing I know is that I have stamina and I'm resilient.
Mm,
I am not going to let anything or anyone stop me from being my future self tomorrow.
mm,
I'm not going to let anything or anyone stop me from growing, stop me from learning, stop me from investigating, stop me from giving back to somebody who needs it.
mhm,
They may shut me down in the government and say, hey, we're going to not promote you. Okay, we want you whenever we in the pickle. We
mhm.
coming for you. I'm training all the new people now.
Right.
Right, but I can't get elevated because why? Because I cannot, because they don't want me to match up with them. And I
Yeah.
have two master's degree. And I cannot because the people on top of me don't have my degrees. So I'm rubbing somebody's the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it's okay to call on me when you're off time and say, hey, this person's coming in. Is Esther's gonna be in the job today? Yeah, she's gonna be. Oh, wonderful, great. Don't worry. Esther's not gonna be in the job. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What to do? What to do? What to do? Depending on me. And I'm on my
Yeah.
way out though. I'm
Yeah.
working on my exit strategy now. People are
Mhm.
leaving. I'm helping the people that I think I'm there to serve right now because there are a few women there that are literally it's like I'm their bread and butter
Mm,
because they don't feel that anyone cares. And these
mm.
people are struggling with the day-to-day 9 to 5. And it's amazing that as much as they're struggling, and I'm saying to them, when will you make that next change? When will you? You see, you can take a person to a certain limit, but you can't
Mhm.
like taking the camel to the water and can't let them drink, and you can drink it. They have to drink it, right?
Yeah.
People want change. This is what I'm saying. I'm not here to serve everybody. People want change, but they don't want to take the time to make it for themselves. They want you to do it all, but it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
My work, my lifestyle, my thing, what I want to do in my life is completely different to what you want to do, Derek. Right?
Mhm.
I can say, hey, I can be there for you, Derek. You're going through a rough time, and you just need someone who can just be there to support you. Even me just being silent, as long as I'm right there, that helps you because you just need to know that a friend is right next to you. I'm there for you. But what else will you want to do for you? Because you can
Yeah.
help, but that person has to show initiative that they want to do. And there are one or
Yeah.
two that really want to make a change, but the fear is setting in. They've been
Mhm.
told too many times, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna make it. One girl been saying to herself all her life, oh, I'm always gonna be rejected. I'm gonna go find it. Oh, they're gonna reject me. So when someone says that stuff and do it to you too many times, it becomes a part of you. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard, a hard shell to break.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
we have to think of all these things that people went through. And around COVID is when all this stuff came at me. My dad, and then my sister. That's another thing, too. After my dad died, I got a call again. My sister, who I never knew I had, was a cop. She went and got a heart attack and died right after. She was 35. She died in front of the 2-year-old child. And in my mind, I'm like, okay,
Wow.
what in the world is going on?
Wow.
After that, last year was 2023. I lost 3 family members every single month,
Oh my
and I
God.
have yet to grieve. I have not grieved, and I don't even know what it feels like to grieve. But I
Right.
know one thing is that, you know, it hurts, but I haven't stopped because I know that something else is going on. I have
Yeah.
other people that I need to help. I'm not saying I'm negating that. When I
Mhm.
get home, I will deal with that. But for right
Mhm.
now, it's like I'm dealing with that in a different way, and other people
Yeah.
are dealing with it more hurtful, more painful. And those are the people that I'm trying to like say to them, hey, I know what it feels like. I understand. Like last week, this girl, she got hit on the train. She
Mm.
came in the job traumatized, and she came right over to me. She didn't go to anyone else. She came right over to me. She was
Yeah.
traumatized, and I can only just as I'm talking to you, I sat, I listened to her, I watched her weep.
Mhm.
I sat there and I waited for her. And when I felt it was time to say something, then I asked her how she's feeling. Are you gonna be okay? Do you want to take a little bit of time off?
Mhm.
And I don't know what I did. From that moment, it was a different human being. Now I know
Yeah.
everyone processes things different.
Right.
Every day, this girl is reaching out to me. Every day. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And every day she's like, Esther, are you there today? Are you there? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, all I did was just listen and just be
Yeah.
there and just
Yeah.
waited for her. Sometimes
Mhm.
the words you don't speak helps people.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
she is going through. Derek, we are here to serve. Your
Absolutely.
platform is beyond the podcast. I'm telling you right now. Your podcast is
Thank you.
beyond. I mean, your platform is beyond the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You have somewhere else that you're going. This is a stepping stone. This is for you to find your, just to get your feet wet, to
Yeah.
get in, and then you're gonna see how you're moving. If you stay with the sort of person that you are, if you don't let everything that around you interrupt the things that you have inside of you that is burning inside of you and tell you to do it.
Mm.
If you don't reach out and fulfill that burning, you know, you won't see how big you are going to be, how you're gonna shine. You know,
Yeah.
you're going beyond you were going beyond this. I've seen a few podcasts. I've looked at everybody. I've looked at a few people who come up to me. I did, but there's something about you, Derek. That heart is in the right place. People
Thank
care
you.
about the heart. People don't care about all the words you speak. People care. They care about what they're hearing from your heart,
Yeah.
and people will connect to that. This is why you have to go beyond here. This is great, but dream big. You may
Yeah.
not see it yet. Dream bigger than you think you can dream. Dream. Don't let your dream stop. Dream big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Set your goals
Yes.
high. Set your standards high. Put the bar up real high.
Yeah.
And stick with people who are one step ahead of you. Keep
Mm.
Don't be with this because then you're gonna be like here. You're not gonna grow. You're gonna
Yeah.
be over here because you want to get there. And when you get there, you're gonna go over there.
Yeah.
You can't stop there. You have to keep elevating somewhere higher than you. This is why I want to be with people who I know are ahead of me so that I could work my way to get there and learn what
Mhm.
I need to do to get there. And
Yeah.
that,
Yes. Yes, yeah. I just want to go back a little bit about your experiencing the deaths so back to back, so close to each other. I experienced my grandma just passing, and I haven't spoken to her since I was like 12 or 13, and that was a pretty big blow for me when I got the call and the text from my brother and my dad. Um, and I had and still have no idea how to feel. And I'm in essence, like you, I haven't grieved. I don't even know how to grieve. I don't know where to start. Um, and I've just kept going, with the podcast, with my life, with everything, but in the back of my mind and deep within me, I'm just wondering, and a little piece of me is a little dead because I'm the unknown of that is it's heavy. It's very heavy. um and I know that, when my brother told me, he was the one that was the closest to our grandmother, and like extremely close. He even watched her in her dying days. And when he called and told me, I had no idea what to say to him because I had no idea how to feel within myself. And
Mhm.
so, it was probably one of the hardest exchanges that my brother and I have ever had. And I feel it has shifted our relationship in a little bit of a way just because we both have different perspectives on the situation, you know, and it's something that you were speaking to earlier, of just having seeing the situations differently. And that it doesn't mean our relationship has dwindled or anything. I know he still loves me. I still love him and all of that, but you don't understand how a moment or something like this that happens in your life can change, something so small, just very small change. And yeah,
So,
it's been very, I haven't even thought about it honestly until, we started talking, and then I was just like, wow, like that's
yeah,
I haven't spoken, I haven't thought, nothing. I recently had a conversation with my dad, and he, mentioned, I have a deceased mother now, and it was just kind of like a pass through in the car, like it was just a speed bump. It was really fast, and for me, it didn't feel like, it felt like a blow. Like I felt terrible, because it was like, not only what did he, lose his mom, who he wasn't as,
because,
I mean, yeah, as close to. I mean, he was close, but they weren't as close. Um, and then me not being, I haven't spoken to them in years. And so, but because of the dynamic of our relationship, we're not able to communicate in that way just yet. And we're just now starting to work on it and all of that. And even within me and my brother, and that, I think that is where that change, I can, pinpoint that change to, because we all have a very difficult time with communicating feelings.
yeah,
And I feel like that is what I'm being called to do, is to help my family understand that feeling aspect in communicating, because
yeah,
you should be able to communicate your feelings, and they should be validated and understood in some way that, you know that person can be able to do for you what you actually need, rather than based off of what they feel you need.
right, right,
And I feel like I've lived my life in that way so much, where people do things for me based off what they feel,
yeah,
is best for me, rather than what I feel is best for me. And
interesting,
when I've spoken up to say that I'm, overly emotional, or I'm too in my feelings, or that's too much for them, or like all of that. And yeah, this conversation is really taking me into such an elevated space in my mind right now, because I'm just going through the motions of
yeah,
really understanding that dynamic. And it's, yeah, I haven't spoken about, my grandma passing, um since it happened. And I wasn't able to attend the funeral and all of that. And so it's,
mhm,
yeah, that I had to take that breath there, because
it's hard,
I yeah, I still don't know how to
mm,
feel or where to start. And I don't think we talk about grief and, family members passing, and how that can make you feel, based on how you've grown up and what your relationship was like with those family
mm,
members and things like that. And um, I think definitely people that are tuning in and get to this part of our conversation, they're going to be really struck by this idea and this concept of, how maybe unconscious that we are living so much in our life. And
mhm,
these conscious moments really help us build into that growth that we really want.
yeah,
And maybe that is where the starting point of actually that actual sense of wanting to change happens. These type of conversations and these moments
mhm,
where there's a bit of an aha, and being like, relating so much, from your story, you explaining everything, and then it resonating so much with me. Maybe that is a focal point for the willingness for people to actually take in that change, and have it stick, and
mhm,
have it elevate into, the potential of whoever that spirit is. And so, I'm so thankful for you, and so thankful that we've connected, and so thankful that you're listening to me right now. And I understand
Yeah.
that woman who, keeps reaching out, even though you're not saying much, you know, nothing at all is truly what so many of us need,
Yeah.
and and I could say that for me especially because I'm a talker. I
Yeah.
like to talk.
Mhm.
I love to
Mhm.
express how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
but I've never felt like I've had a space to do that. I've never felt like,
Mhm.
anyone encouraged that, anyone supported that, anyone told me that it was okay just in general to say how I feel and be okay with it.
Mhm.
And now I'm choosing to be in that space and not care if other people are supporting how I'm feeling and all of those things. Because I know that in one way or another, someone else is feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that we're going to be able to support each other and help each other, is
Mhm.
putting out there how we're feeling,
Yeah.
because the next person may be feeling the same thing. So
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for you and so grateful that we've been able to connect. And I truly hope that, our relationship can withstand
Absolutely.
time, because I really do cherish this relationship and this connection.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
such a
Yeah.
spiritual thing
Yeah.
for me.
I mean,
Very moving.
this is life transforming for you. I mean, what would you need in order for you to find closure here, right? What would I need for for me to find closure? And
Right.
and these are the little things that we have to ask ourselves. And sometimes it can just be just taking a step back with things, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I am an introvert. People don't believe that when I say I'm an introvert. It took a while till I got into coaching, then I realized that I can talk, but I don't really, because like you, I was raised in the Caribbean, and the whole these Caribbean people are, right? You
Hmm.
children must be seen and not heard. A
Yes.
lot of things that you cannot get into an adult conversation when they're having
Hmm.
you better cope. Pray to God that your mother doesn't see you in there trying to listen in, and your
Hmm.
brother threw a broom at you or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But really, if it, I know it's not easy, and you just will know when it's time, and you will know when you really want to have that conversation. But if there's something that you can do right now to help you ease a little bit of that pain, what would that look like for you? And where would you find the space to do it? Those are things to look at and think on as you progress with your life, because you know these are these are sometimes those inhibition, these things that hold us back, because we kind of like suppressing them because we have not really dealt with them, but we really
Hmm.
need to in order for us to move forward. But you
Yeah.
will know when it's time, right? And no one can really push you into this. You will know when it's the right time. So take all the time you need to find that space, to find that peace and that comfort and that love and that attention you need in order for you to overcome, because it's not easy, especially when they were unfinished business, I would say, in that sense. But what would help you right now? Think on the things that that if it's one little thing that you can do today that can help you ease that pain, what would it look like? What is a color? You can give it a color. You can just say, hey, this is what,
Mhm.
and maybe find grace in it all. Just, you know, give yourself some self-love, give yourself some comfort. If you don't see it out there, find something to give you what will help you today, to give you that little bit of comfort and to let you know that you're loved, because you are,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
are. Sometimes we may have a partner, and we may that partner is there, but at the same time we're struggling with other things inside. Not everything
Yeah.
we can just like, I would like to say, but I
Yeah.
can't. What
Yeah.
does it take for me to do it? Sometimes you're just not ready.
Yeah.
So take the time, and when it's time, you'll know when it's time,
Yeah.
right? But don't go this alone. If you have to reach out, and if you just need to take a break, and sometimes just take alone time, or walk in the park, anything to just to give you that space.
Yeah.
But just know that you're loved,
Thank
right?
you.
And you are loved. You will always be loved. And it's hard sometimes to feel it because of all the things that you have to go through. But just know that you're loved. And that's what I want to
Yes.
say to you about that. You're loved.
I,
I love you. I care for you. I care for where you're going. I care for, what pain you're feeling, because you're not alone. All right. And if you
yeah.
want to, think of where you were and where you are right now, anything that will give a little spark to you to just build you up and just give you a little bit more strength, just be
Yeah.
encouraged. I just want you to be encouraged, and
Yes.
take however long it is that you need to heal,
Thank
because
you.
only you can pull yourself out from that. You can have support, right? But you have to be ready to be able to talk about that
Yeah.
feelings inside. But find comfort in whatever it is that you're gonna do today to just take you to a place of peace and
Yes.
comfort.
Yes.
Don't
Thank
be
you
alone.
so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
I appreciate all of your words. I receive them. I thank you so much. I feel like this was more of my call, a call for me, an interview for me. Forget the rest of the. No, I'm just kidding. Please, y'all, please listen to
It's
this entire conversation.
it's
But
it's great. It's great to
yes,
have a community of people that support you, right?
yes,
And
absolutely.
just remember that you have something to give to the world, right? You may not
Yes,
see the beauty of it yet, right? But there's so many places that you have to go. This is only the beginning for you, my dear. This is only
yeah,
the beginning. This is just a
yes,
stepping stone into something bigger, right? And I'm happy that I
yes,
am here seeing you grow and see you going. I'm so excited to be in this journey here, even in a small way, just to see you shine. And I'm
yes.
excited for where you're going. I'm really
Thank you.
excited about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I want to leave you with this,
Yeah.
as you were saying, of thinking about what can help me, get through this stage of my life. I think I think I've taken a step, and that step is trying to build an actual relationship with my father. We haven't, yeah, exactly right. We haven't had a relationship at all, really. Growing up, I mean, he was there, he wasn't, he was there, he wasn't. But I finally have come to a point in my life where I feel like I've experienced enough growth to be able to handle the twists and turns throughout, having to learn in my earlier years. And so now I'm understanding that, and I was able to, say what I needed to say, and really actually say that. And now, we're day by day working towards actually building up something. And so I think, that's definitely maybe the starting point of my grief is, getting close to my father and being able to have that relationship with him, and not have to wonder, if what I was holding inside previously would have hindered, our relationship to the point of, having a similar experience, with my grandmother. So, yeah, I'm truly grateful for you and your words. I receive all of them. I'm on the brink of about to cry. Like,
I'm helping somebody here today, okay? This is
yes,
hopefully help someone. If one person gets it, then our job is done, right?
absolutely, yes.
We really love, we really love strong, and we love the people because we know that we care from deep within. We really do. For
Yeah,
me, it's more than me. I love myself. I love where I am right now. There was one time in life where the self, all that stuff wasn't there because of all the stuff that was going around, where people try to, like, pull me back and make me feel insignificant, or make me feel like, hey, I don't belong. And I've come a long way with that. But guess what? We are work in progress. We're always going to be work in progress. And it's the mindset. We got to shift our thinking, right? Get outside from the
Yes.
feeling of self-doubt and everybody's after you and all that. You
Yeah.
got to sometimes challenge that mind. Just say to them, and listen, I appreciate you, but guess what? Take a step back, okay? I
Yes.
got this. I got
Yes.
this. Okay. And we're
Yeah.
gonna move forward. But with growth and everything else, and with the challenges and with the beautiful transformation that you're experiencing, you go for it. Go all
Yes.
the way. Don't stop. I don't care where you're going right now. Just keep going. Just go.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Just
Thank you.
go.
Yes, I'm going. I'm going. I'm running fast. I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
3
that's
states over so
right.
far.
And
So
that's for everyone here. Don't let
yes,
anything stop you from being the best that you can be, because guess what? You
absolutely.
are 100% responsible for what happens to you. Outside
Absolutely.
interference got nothing on you, except, of course, is the weather and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're 100% in changing your dynamic, okay? You are 100%,
Yes.
and I'm saying it to you because I'm saying it to me too.
Yes.
Bring it back at me.
Yes.
Back at me. All right, guys.
Yes, that's
So
right.
it was
That's
fun.
right.
It was great being here, and I
Yes.
cherish every moment we have in these small platforms. I'm cherishing you. I'm cherishing what you're doing, and I know there's something bigger that is waiting for you, and I know you're gonna get there. Right?
Thank
Just
you
stay
so much.
inspired, stay motivated, and just keep doing you. Keep doing
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And
Yes.
of course, us connecting and talking
Yes.
continuously helps so much.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you so much
Happy
for coming back
Saturday.
here.
Happy
Yes.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Enjoy
Yes.
the weekend. It's the sun out there.
Yes.
You better go out and get some sun before it goes away, right? Your
Absolutely. Yes.
audience, stay
Yes.
thriving. Stay thriving. Okay?
Thank you.
Stay
Thank you so
positive. All
much.
the best.
Thank you. Yes,
See you
thank
then
you. Make
next
sure
time.
y'all connect with her. Her links will be in the description below. This is Miss Esther Murray. She needs no other outro, okay? Go connect with her. You see it scrolling all over the screen. Book a call now or just connect with her if you need some conversation. I appreciate you so much for joining me. It has been the Grown Up Podcast, and that is it for now. Make sure you stay safe and be kind out
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Bye.